I want to do a short sauna clip. There's quite a few things that I do at home outside of digging dirt and tearing down stuff. I like to create stuff. So this is the sauna. I was working on it a little bit this morning. So this is a thermal siphon heating unit, which I'll explain what it does. So this is your water source. Ours happens to come from a spring. And turn it off and on here. So we have about 40 PSI. So cold water come in, off on, comes over here. This always constantly runs to keep the spring going. Okay, so it comes up. We've got a T here for water for the stove. This will be a future line that comes here and does a mist over the hot rocks. Then we'll just eliminate this. We could still use the scooper. So looking back, that pipe goes up to a cold water supply. Oops, somebody didn't clean up their Corona bottle last night. You're not supposed to drink in the sauna because you're supposed to be detoxing everything. But, so, cold water in, goes through 2 filters, which those are, you can get those on Amazon, they're pretty cheap. Comes up here. See, we've got 40 PSI. So that's pretty good. Comes here, we got a shut off valve in case we need to work on stuff. Cold water, cold water, cold water. Cold water comes in the top of the water heater, where your cold comes in, like on a normal house. And then you've got your hot water comes into the old pressure relief, or the old pressure relief valve that's on top of your water heater. So you reinstall that, you just put a T that comes from your wood stove. So hot water in, hot water out. You take the drain valve, this is where the cold water comes to the stove. So hot water rises because it's hotter. Cold water gets pushed down the water heater. Cold water goes back, and I'll show you where it's hooked up to the stove if I don't fall. So I put pressure relief valves everywhere. So in case this gets too hot, it's got somewhere to release. So this is a drain here. So cold water in from the bottom of the water heater, goes through the stove. This one here is about 2 inches higher because hot water is going to rise, and the cold water is going to push the hot water through the stove up. There goes a rock. Up, hot water up, into the top, cold water down. And then out of the hot port of the top of the water heater, that comes across, and this is what's really cool. You're probably wondering why we want hot water in a sauna. So you come into this here, and you've got 2 tubs. So, you got extremely hot water coming out, or this is a mixing valve, and you just turn this the other way, you can have, really, really cold spring water for a cold plunge. And then we've got, it's like some Epsom salt here. And then you get to kind of look out at the chickens being naughty. Oh, they're not even supposed to be out. So then you get to look over here too, wherever you at the garden or the pond. But someday I'll These are just cheap Amazon mats, bamboo. I'm gonna tile this someday. So that's what the hot water and the cold water is for, coming to the sauna, which is totally off grid. We could lose power in the middle of the winter. We can still shower. Actually, this is gonna be the shower over here. I am not done with it. That's all glass and drain. Oh, another thing. So I did heated floors. So if you come, this one right there comes up out of the floor, and it's tied in underneath. I'm about ready. Underneath all that, and then this floor is heated. This is all concrete. It's a big coil in the floor, so then it drops back down, and then this floor has a big coil underneath of it. I put down a coil. First I put down a mat, and then I put down the copper coil, and then I laid another mat over it, and then I put 2-inch insulation foam, and then I put the concrete. So there's a barrier between everything. What's cool about this sauna is we're trying to do everything, so nothing off gases, no plywood, no glue, no plastic, which, you'll see some plastic in here. It's really hard to get rid of everything. We've got some PVC there. But as far as, construction, it's all cedar. So every 1x6. So I did 1x6 vapor barrier, 1x1-inch foam for insulation, and then plywood on the outside of that, and then 1x6 siding. So there's 3 layers on the outsides, but everything on the inside, there's nothing, there's nothing that could off gas. There's obviously some things that can. We've got Teflon tape on pipes. We've got, it's totally impossible to get rid of everything unless you go sit in a tree stump and light a fire, I guess. I don't know. But another thing we are doing, so like in the summertime, if we don't want to run the stove, we did do a propane water heater, which I don't really like. Runs off a DC battery to light it. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it, so. But yeah. So that is the sauna. I still need to do some more work on it, but overall, it's probably 90%. I'm a 90%er. So I build stuff, and then I get to the 90% mark, and then I give up, or I just get distracted. I start something else. So it's that ADHD. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. I can answer any questions I can. See ya.